Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a little football commentary with the final game of the preseason over with. Now we can focus on the regular season and what all that'll entail. Uh, Definitely a very interesting beginning to this game, to say the least, with quarterbacks sharing reps. Um, Definitely something I've never really seen before. I guess the commentators were saying it hasn't been something that's been seen since the 1970s with the Cowboys with their two quarterbacks. And it was interesting to see two quarterbacks kind of alternate snaps depending on the situation. And he's not really showing his hand at the press conference after the game. He said that, he definitely wants to keep the question in the mind of defensive coordinators, exactly what he's going to be doing. But at the same time, not really divulging any information whatsoever. I thought it was interesting that he really still hasn't given an answer to who the starter is. He says he's just doing what he has to do to get through the press conferences, but it was just nice to see everybody, um, for the most part, healthy in this game. Uh, a lot of people are saying, based on the game, that Jalen Hurd is still going to make this team, and I was under the impression, just watching the game, that he's not going to. But from a lot of different accounts of people that are trusted in the media, it seems to be a question of how they feel after the game. They're saying that if he feels good after the game and his body responds, that there's a good chance he's going to make the roster. Jaquaski Tart came out of this game for a little bit. It looked like he rolled his ankle, but he made it back into the game and played really well. So that was nice to see. Just want to say hi to everybody who's in here. How's it going, CG? How are you doing, man? Uh, yeah, it definitely was a fun game to watch for sure, Frank. I'm doing pretty good. Figured I'd get on here. I have an early work day tomorrow, but I figured I'd get on for a little bit, not too long, and just discuss what's going on. That was an interesting. That was fun. That was fun to watch. Both quarterbacks. Uh, both offer something totally different. I can see. I can see why people say, like Fernando say, that Trey still needs work. Is definitely, Trey he needs to be able to repeat his delivery. If he knows where he's going pre-snap, usually does pretty well. But he also is good at going through his progressions, but he just needs to do it consistently, and that's where he's at right now. He's inconsistent. Remember, it's a 2-level jump from where he played in college to the NFL, so that's definitely a reason. And also, just 500 days between playing football. It's just going to take a little time. He is raw. That was the scouting report coming out of college, anyways. Coming into the draft, he was raw, and he looks raw still, but he's still very talented. The Niners have two good quarterbacks, so Jimmy looked good. Jimmy looks solid. I'm happy about Jimmy. Definitely, under the impression that the Niners really don't know who, like, their starting defensive line is definitely going to be a question of somebody who can play is not going to make the cut. So, guys like Arden Key and Samson Abucom, I would assume both of them are a lock to make it. But, defensive tackle wise, we might have a cut that we weren't expecting. But that defensive line looked really impressive, and we weren't even seeing Bosa or D Ford, but they come at you at waves, man, and they come at you aggressively. And it's going to be awesome to see this team during the season if they could stay healthy, for sure. The first two series, which offense was fun to watch. Yeah, it's definitely something to see if that's how they determine they're going to run their offense. The running game looked really impressive, I have to say. Other than the couple mix-ups with Elijah Mitchell, I think the Niners run game looks really, really solid. Trey Sermon looks good. And of course, if he stays healthy, Raheem Mostert looks like he's in midseason form, so he looks fantastic. So I'm really happy about that. An offensive line played reasonably well, considering they don't have all their big guys in there. They didn't look too bad. Pass protection wasn't too bad. The mix up with the sack with Trey Lance was definitely the fault of the running back going to the wrong place. And I'll touch on this with Frank Tom Ocean, the kickers, and the special teams has improved from the first week of the preseason until now. I'll definitely say that. So you are definitely right about that. Wisnowski with the nice punt that pinned him inside the 3-yard line was fantastic. Definitely was a worry of mine. Defensive back is still a concern for sure. We're definitely in a situation right now where we just hope nobody gets hurt in the starting lineup. We have, of course, Ferret, Mosley, and K'Wan Williams, and then possibly, I think, Diamador Lenore, and then I don't know who else. I don't know who else. I mean, is Ambry Thomas? Are you going to trust Ambry Thomas with the way he's played in this preseason? Because he looks like he's got a lot to work on, technique wise. He's definitely the weakest of the group for sure. Yeah, exactly. I 100% completely agree with Jason Aponte. Yeah, but does he offer you anything, Luke, though? Is he going to offer us anything? Like, it's cool that he can get through a game, but he does look a little slow, is what I'm saying. He looks a little not very explosive. Again, first game reps in a long time, but I don't know. 2 drops on passes that he should have caught. I know he's probably a little nervous, a little rusty, but I thought he didn't do enough to keep himself on the roster, but from all the reports, it seems like he's going to end up making the roster. So sucks for somebody who's going to not make this roster. Benjamin, Symbol Webster, somebody's not going to make this team because of Jalen Hurd, and I don't know if that's right, but that's just my opinion. But those guys definitely have played well in the preseason. But I guess when you spend a 3rd-round pick on somebody, you need to see some return. So that might be his saving grace, why he's still on this team. Juwan Jennings was a little bit, this guy's got to learn to catch passes. This receiving core is a little frustrating to me. The report is that it's been 9 drops that Trey Lance has suffered in the preseason. 9 drops. Imagine what his stat line would look like if he didn't have those 9 drops. Just take that into consideration when you look at the stat line of him, and it doesn't look very impressive. Yeah, all the running backs look solid. I think Wayne Gallman is the man that's not going to make this team. JaMychal Hasty, I wonder if he's going to go practice squad because he definitely looks fantastic. The Niners have a lot of good running backs on this team. They're definitely deep. Hopefully they can somehow stay healthy so we don't have to test the depth, but the depth is there for now. And then we got to remember we're going to get Jeff Wilson Jr. back, sometime in November. So definitely going to be interesting to watch with all these running backs if they can all stay healthy. We could hit you in so many multiple different ways. And this team is a run-first team. I don't want anybody to think we're a pass-first team. We are a run-first team, first and foremost. They still are a run-first team, even with the weapons that they have. It's what they do best. It's how they hurt people. It takes time off the clock, keeps the defense fresh, keeps that pass rush ready to go. This is not a pass-first team. No matter what pieces they add on the outside, they are run-first. They are run-heavy, and I'm okay with that. It's not the sexiest way to win, but it gets the job done. So, I don't know. I don't even know if this. I think they're going to keep 3 teams. So yeah, I would assume so. They're definitely going to keep 3 quarterbacks. I don't think the Niners are going to go into the season with only 2. Yeah, I know what you mean, Luke. Yeah, he needs to tone it down on his windup. He definitely has a lot of velocity on his throws, but they've had him in camp for how long now, and guys are not used to that yet. That's kind of the only question I have. But yeah, he needs that one pass on I think it was 3rd down, that one that he sailed was definitely needed to bring that ball down when he's throwing inside the sticks like that. What's going on? What's going on, Jay in the Bay? Nice lid. Yeah, this is old. This is an old lid. I've had this for a while. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think Sudfield's going to the practice squad too. Hopefully they never have to test that third quarterback. But I think it's smart for them to keep 3 just because of Jimmy's injury history. It'd be smart to keep 3 quarterbacks for sure. How was your stream, Jay? I didn't catch it. I was watching the game and then I went and had dinner and stuff, so I missed out. Hope your stream went well. Um, I got a question for you guys, and a favor to ask. If you guys could just drop a like in the chat or on the channel, it helps YouTube find me. And if you haven't been subscribed, if you want, subscribe to my channel. I'm approaching 1,500 subscribers. I want to get to 2K by at least November. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I don't usually ask those kind of things because I don't feel comfortable, but if you can. Jay, I honestly don't think he did. A lot of Bay Area guys, the reporters are saying he made this team, possibly. I don't think he showed enough. He looks slow, bro. He looks slow. Which, I don't know if it's nerves or if it's just the effect of all the injuries on him. But if you asked me, I don't think he did enough to make the roster. But the Niners decision makers probably have a different opinion on that for sure. I don't know. Like I said, if you have to try your third string quarterback, then you probably aren't in a good position and with your season going. So I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him in a real game that means something to give that kind of an evaluation. I don't think they're concerned about his finger long term. He stayed in the game, so he definitely toughed it out for sure. Thank you very much, K's91, Desert Storm Survivor. That's awesome. I appreciate it, and mazel tov to you, man. This guy is always very nice to me. He always leaves very nice comments in my chat and on my channel. I just want to say thanks. He's very supportive. Why? As a backup? I don't know if Cam would want to come here as a backup, to be honest with you. I really don't think he would. I think Cam still sees himself as a starter. But yeah, they're definitely going to have a question of what they're going to do next year as far as backup goes, because this is definitely going to be Trey Lance's team unless something happens to him or he just doesn't look ready. Yeah. Yeah. And I think the Niners' evaluation of him and the evaluation of us as fans is a completely different thing. So I guess that's the case on that one. I apologize to you guys for that noise on my phone. Hold on one second. There we go. I muted my phone. Sorry. Tomorrow is the real test. If Hurd isn't saying his knees or his back are hurting, it makes the team, I think. Yeah, that is what John Lynch was kind of insinuating, and Kyle Shanahan kind of reiterated the same thing indirectly. So, yeah, definitely, Luke. If he can feel good tomorrow and his body isn't hurting, then, yeah, he's probably a lock to make this roster. I hope maybe, like Jay in the Bay says, maybe he's just rusty. Maybe his explosiveness comes back. Maybe he's nervous. I don't know, man. But if you had to put a gun to my head and tell me what did I see, I would tell you that he looks slow and he dropped 2 passes. He wouldn't move the needle on me as far as if I was just an outsider looking in and not a Niners fan. So, but like I said, the front office has different opinions and different ideas, so that's just what it is. Frank Time Motion says Cam is doo-doo. Yeah, he's definitely not the same as he used to be, but yeah, he would be a good backup, I think. Thank you, Luke Luna, for the $2 super chat. Stay blessed, brother. You too, man. I appreciate it. You guys are the best, man. Um, like Jay in the Bay says, like I always get nervous before I come on here, just like he does. But it's always nice to come on here and have support and people actually active in the chat. So appreciate you guys. You mean a lot to me. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Let the guy coach a couple years. Louis Riddick's I respect his opinion, but to make that kind of comment after a couple preseason games is you haven't seen anything. So calm down, Louis Riddick. Let this man coach this defense for a year, and then we'll make some evaluations. But we haven't seen anything yet. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I heard the same thing that he sees him as a top 6 guy. So hopefully he can contribute. If he can contribute, then I'll gladly be wrong. But he doesn't look like he can contribute right now. He looked like a very stiff robot out there, to be honest with you. So, but again, not my decision to make, and I'm only a fan with a YouTube channel, so my opinion really doesn't matter. Yeah. Definitely worried about Ambry Thomas. I will say that about Ambry Thomas. Hopefully, we don't have to use him. He definitely is the rawest and the most. He brings me a lot of concern watching him play corner. So let's hopefully the Niners don't have to use him and he could sit and learn. And I don't know. Sometimes I wish Richard Sherman was still on this roster to kind of give him some coaching on the field technique wise, because the kid looks like he's lost out there, to tell you. You know what? I didn't see the end of the game because the package that I ordered, even though it's supposed to, it switched to the New York Giants game and never switched back. So I know the Niners played pretty well throughout the game, but I didn't see the like the last quarter of it. So name your wide receiver you would personally keep. All right, so we're gonna go Brandon Ayuk 1, Debo Samuel 2, Trent Sherfield 3, Mohamed Sanu 4, Juwan Jennings 5. I'm forgetting somebody. Nisimbo, no, Kevin, Travis Benjamin 6, and if they're gonna keep another one, maybe Jalen Hurd. I don't know. Travis Benjamin is good in the return game, so there's a good chance he's probably going to make this team. Yeah. I mean, he was never going to be a burner anyways, Luke. He was more of a possession guy. So, like I said, I just thought he looked slow and sluggish. I wasn't the only one. I forget who on Twitter has said the same thing. But again, he hasn't played football in a long time. He was probably really nervous. You worry about him. You know, is he doing this just to try to make the team and, you know, whatever? Or if he's really hurt and he's just hurting himself worse, you know, that's not good either. So we'll see. I think cut downs are Tuesday. I forget what day the cut downs are. I don't know if it's the Tuesday before the season or the Tuesday before this coming Tuesday. I forget the cut down day. If one of you guys knows the Niners 53 cut down date, if you could put it in the chat for me. I do not remember. I will say this, though. If the Niners stay healthy, we have weapons all over the field, to be honest with you. Running game is deep. this receiving core, if we stay healthy, can hit you in a lot of different ways. And one of the most interesting thing is that we haven't talked about George Kittle, if anything, on this channel in the preseason. So he's a security blanket for Jimmy, and he may very well be a security blanket for Trey Lance once he gets in there. So let's see this offense have Trey Lance have George Kittle in it, and see how different his game looks when he has Kittle over the middle. 49ers alternate report. What I think of the game? I saw like the first almost 3/4 of it before they switched over to the Giants game, but I was impressed early on. I thought the wide receivers didn't do Trey Lance any favors with the drops. Defense looked pretty good considering they still didn't have all of their starters in. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. Secondary is still a concern of mine for sure. But this pass rush, if we can get home and we can cause some havoc, it'll help the secondary. So my whole thing is hopefully this team can stay relatively healthy with the pass rush, and the run game can stay as effective as it's been, because with this run game and with the ability of Trey to pull it down, this is going to be a very dangerous offense that teams are going to have a hard time figuring out. So I am too, brother. I cannot wait. I took that week off from work, like I told you guys. I'm stoked. Hopefully I'll have a jersey or two by then, so I will be rocking hopefully my Warner jersey. I'll let you guys know on that one soon. Yeah, they're both big, but yeah, you're right. They both have different type of ways of getting open. I'll say though that one catch, the second catch or the second throw that Jennings got, that the one that he actually caught, that was a nice grab to snatch it out of the air like that, because that ball was coming in hot. So we haven't really had big guys like that. We've always had these like short, shifty guys. So I like bigger receivers. I'm of the old generation with, guys like JJ Stokes and T.O. and Jerry Rice. So it was nice to see a big guy like that. But yeah, they both kind of offer something different. But they're both big, and they both can, box out defenders and go for the jump ball, which is something we don't have right now. So you think so? You think he's going to the practice squad? Yeah, you're probably right. I think Travis Benjamin is going to make the team as their returner and as their sixth receiver, or seventh, depending on if they keep another receiver. Tight end wise, I would assume we're only keeping two. I don't know where Charlie Warner would fit in. Then again, he could be, they could carry three and he could be kind of like a backup fullback. I don't know. Hokett's probably not going to make the team. He's in our camp all the time, but never actually makes the 53. The grab by Jennings made me want to. Yeah, me too. It was nice. That was a nice grab for sure. Trey just needs receivers that can catch the ball. Tall does help though, because he does tend to rocket shot some of these. But yeah, the drops are killing me today, man. I get so frustrated, Exactly. Dropping in for a second to say what's up. Good stuff today. Let's hope for consistency, not complacency. Exactly. The Niners don't have any room to be complacent. They've had one winning season in all the seasons that Coach Shanahan and Lynch have been here. So hopefully they're not feeling complacent, because they haven't won anything yet. Yes, just DJ Stokes was a big dude, but yeah, he never ascended to the level of T.O. But I do remember him being on the team. I was a fan of his back then, just for the fact that, the Niners just had two really big receivers. The problem with big guys a lot of times is they don't get separation. So, yeah, he wasn't, he wasn't long for this league, but he was all right when he first started. Benjamin runs better routes, has shown he can get behind the defense that can return. This is why he may send Sudfield to practice squad, either D line or extra. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting. D line's going to be an interesting thing. That someone's going to be cut off this team that could be a starter or can contribute to another team. Be interesting to watch the waiver wire too, to see if the Niners, pick up a corner or something before the beginning of the season. I keep telling you guys that I definitely am going to look out for that, and hopefully the Niners do too. Yeah, I don't think he's making this team. It was a long shot to begin with, but I mean, props to him for coming in and gaining weight to try to be a tight end. But you're right. I definitely don't see it. Defensive line trade bait, yeah, maybe, but I think the Niners want to keep a lot of the guys that they have. I want to have Arden Key and all the other defensive guys that come off the edge, Samson Abucom and stuff, because the way I look at it is the way you keep D Ford and Nick Bosa healthy is by pitch count. If you get pitch counts, that gets the guys, it keeps them healthier. And if Niners can come in waves and guys don't have to play the whole game, it's just going to keep everybody fresh. Injuries a lot of time happen when guys are tired or guys are fatigued, the muscles are fatigued. So hopefully that is the case, and the Niners have a nice, deep, heavy rotation, and we can keep it going all year. Yeah, I never thought Matthews was going to make the team either. Oh, that running touchdown was beautiful. That was a beautiful run. For the most part, the option with him to give it to the running back or take it himself, I think he made the right choice pretty much every time. The Elijah Mitchell one was definitely Elijah Mitchell's fault. And then there was another play where Elijah Mitchell and Jalen Hurd ran into each other. So Niners got to clean all that stuff up before the season starts. Yeah, the Eagles' defensive line was very deep that year. You're right. So yeah, this Niners defensive line might actually keep 10 guys, from what a lot of people are saying. So that's a lot of guys to keep on defense on just one position. 10 guys, that would be ridiculous. Yeah, say what you want about Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not the biggest Jimmy fan, but I'm not a Jimmy hater either. He's been a consummate professional with this whole Trey Lance thing. And, part of me says that he better be, because he's not been healthy and all that stuff. But, he doesn't have to be, good on the rookie. Remember the Brett Favre and the Aaron Rodgers situation. Favre wasn't opening his arms to Aaron Rodgers and trying to teach him how to take his job. He could care less about any of that. And it's nice to see that Jimmy is being a professional and trying to help this young kid in his early career and show him how to do things, show him good practice habits, whatever it may be. So, yeah, I'm definitely big on Jimmy. I think that says a lot about his character. Like I said, I've never hated on him as a person. I just think for the contract that he has and for what we've gotten out of it, with all the injuries and stuff and, some of his play, that's more of my issue. It's never been an issue of like who he is or anything like that. I just want to ask you guys how worried you are when Tart went out during the game, because I was definitely holding my breath. I do think Hufanga makes this team as a backup. A lot of people are comparing Hufanga to Troy Polamalu, and a lot of people are like, you need to stop with that. And I totally agree. He looks like himself. He doesn't look like Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu is a once in a lifetime player And this happens all the time when somebody looks like somebody or is built like somebody. They automatically try to draw comparisons to somebody that played in the league. The kid looks good. He that one play that he ran down to the quarterback where he forced the bad throw, coming around the defensive line and getting into the backfield. That was very impressive. He's also good at tracking run plays down from behind too. So yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite guys coming out of this draft class. Yeah, Jimmy looked well. Jimmy looked good in this game. That one play he threw to where he missed on the left side of the field to Sherfield, and then the throw that he hit on the right side, the same exact. I think it was like a hitch pattern or a comeback pattern. That was a beautiful throw by Jimmy. I give him props. That was nice velocity. I didn't think he could make that throw, so I was very impressed. Yeah, Sermon looked fantastic, Luke. He looked real good. I always worry with guys that run like that, about them getting hurt, but he looked really good. That's going to be an interesting 1-2 combination. If the Niners, go into some games with Trey Sermon and Raheem Mostert, you got like a thunder and lightning type of approach. You got a guy that's lightning quick that can get around the edges on the run action stuff with Trey. And then you have a guy that can go right up the gut and just pound on people, but he can also cut it outside too. And then JaMychal Hasty looks really good. Man, Niners got some players, guys. Niners got some players. Niners, like I said, they do well in the later rounds and the undrafted free agents. If they could just somehow translate that to their early picks, this team would be out of this world. Thank you for the super chat, Frank Tom Ocean. Take care. I will try to have a good week. Thanks again. Appreciate it, brother. I appreciate all you guys for what you do for me. Help me out. You make it worth my while. So have a good night, Frank Tom Ocean, and I'll see you on the flip side, brother. Yeah, it's definitely a good situation. Niners Ultimate Report or John Jay, whichever. uh, the fact that they work so well together, I'll tell you, I didn't think that something like that could work where you can alternate guys like that, but I don't know. I don't know if that could work long term, but that was definitely cool to see them kind of go back and forth. Kind of gave me almost like a college football vibe. Yeah, they did. They played pretty well. Pass protection wasn't too bad. And when Trey Lance had to take off and run for it, he did well. Uh, I wish he would get down a little quicker, learn how to slide, save him from getting nailed. But it was a little bit of an awkward way he fell with his leg. But other than that, I mean, Trey, I'm glad he's starting to kind of break out of the pocket when he needs to. He does read the field really well. I will say that he scans his progressions. Maybe he takes a little too long sometimes, but you can see the rawness, but you can see that it's so close. It's so close with this kid. Once he gets it, it's going to be great. He might be a little bit behind some of the other guys like Trevor Lawrence, maybe even Mac Jones, maybe even Justin Fields. Maybe he's a little behind in some of those guys. But his situation, he was always going to be the one that was going to be the most raw, but had the highest upside. And I still think that's the case. So, people are crowning people already coming out of the draft, playing preseason with, no game planning and stuff. I think people need to take a step back, realize what they're watching. You can make some observations and analysis, but everybody needs to calm down. Some of these analysts, man, they're like what do they call? They're prisoners of the moment, and a lot of them show kind of I can't say unprofessionalism, but they show their inexperience or whatever with the way they report when they say stuff like, "Oh, this guy's a future Hall of Famer or a future All Pro or whatever," and a guy hasn't even played a down that counts in the league. So Yeah, Lance definitely is going to confuse the defense. That was nice to see. It's weird. We've been getting killed by that for the last couple of years, guys. And to be able to run that on other people is going to be awesome. Yeah, I think he's starting week 1. I mean, it's pretty obvious that's where the coach is going. But like we're gonna see Trey. Trey's gonna be in there. So, you don't spend a third round or a third overall pick on a guy that's just gonna sit the whole season. And I never thought that that's what the case was gonna be for him either. So, we will see. How many tight ends did the 49ers keep and who? Kittle, Dwelly, and Warner. I think those are their three. You agree, Jay? Kittle, Dwelly, Warner, pretty much. I don't see anybody else cracking that tight end group. I will say our linebacker group's going to be surprisingly deep if they end up keeping Griffith and Foles in the mix, along with Aziz El-Shaair. The Niners could have three decent, good backups behind the starters, Warner and Greenlaw. So be interesting. I thought it was going to be bad when the Niners lost Michael Kendricks to injury, but it looks like the Niners have some players that can play behind those starters at linebackers. So didn't look like a position that was going to be deep at first, but it definitely looks like a position that's deeper than I thought it would be. So you would agree? Yeah, I mean it's just obvious. I never thought that Matthews was going to make this team or any of those other guys. To be honest with you, and so yeah, Marcel Harris can hit. He missed one tackle today, or he kind of overran it. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting decision to make if Marcel Harris makes his team, or if not, if another team picks him up and they see his potential at possibly being a linebacker. It's say what you want about this team not winning, but John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have done a good job for the most part, other than maybe secondary, of building a very deep team that's not just top heavy with a couple names. This team, roster wise, defensive line, running back, very deep, and they can hit you in a lot of different ways. And I feel like in this league, with it being a 17-game season now plus the playoffs, it's a battle of attrition. And the more guys that you can throw out there that can spell other guys, the more likelihood you're going to win in the long term. So to me, I'm all for having depth. It's cool to have, the Aaron Donalds of the world or other players that are the top of their position, like Jalen Ramsey. But I rather have a defense that has like a couple of those players and then a lot of other solid players behind them and guys in the depth, on the roster too. So I rather have a team that's not top heavy. I rather have a team that's deep, that can hit you, that has 4 to 5 good running backs, 10 defensive linemen possibly. It's going to be interesting to see this team, if they can stay healthy, how they can really hurt people. And if they do have some injuries, they should be able to, absorb them and go on and play with other guys and not miss too much of a beat. So defenses ain't going to know what to do. Yeah. If the running game looks like it did today, then I can surely agree with you on that one. Niners might never have to pass the ball this year if that's the case. I can't wait for the Packers game. Yeah, me too. But let's get week 1 out of the way. I'm happy that the regular season's here. That's all I got to say. Training camp's over, preseason's over, all that mess is over. Now we just relax for like a couple days, take it all in, and then it's going to be something. Tasty, Hasty, or Gallman? Hasty all day. I think Gallman's all but cut. Nothing. He doesn't really do anything excitingly well. He's decent, but Hasty's just really good. That's all I'll say. And he can make him miss. So He looks very, very much recovered from the injury that he had last year. So, yeah, I think JaMychal Hasty makes his team. I wonder how many running backs they're going to keep, guys. You think they're going to keep 4 running backs? It'll be interesting. And then you got to consider the fullback too. Kyle Juszczyk, best fullback in the NFL. Be interesting. He balled out today. He is like mini beast mode. You're right. He does play a little bit like him. But yeah, it's all about health, guys. We got to stay healthy this year. We have a deep team. We have a talented team. Like I said, I'm still worried about the secondary. Maybe we pick somebody up after all these cuts happen. Who knows? Maybe guys step up as the season goes. I just the secondary really scares me over anything else. Even the offensive line looks like it's getting better, but secondary is definitely my fear. Diamador Lenore is, I think, all but a lock to be the 4th corner. Don't know what they're going to do at Ambry Thomas, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see if the Niners do add anybody on the defensive backfield after the last cut down. Yeah, I'm all for running, bro. I like the run game. The Lions fan Don Burr still believe the Lions will score 5 or 6 TD. I just don't see that. Nothing. I'll never say anything's impossible, John, but yeah, I don't see that happening either. I just think the Niners, talent-wise, healthy, are just a better team than the Detroit Lions from top to bottom roster-wise. So, everybody has a right to their opinion, bro. You can't hate anybody for that. But yeah, I don't see that happening. Fifth round gold, man. Fifth round is where we make our freaking hay, man. We make our way in that 5th round. We should just start the draft in the 5th round, and go from there, because I feel like all the other rounds are like a hit and miss for us. I think I'm going to definitely do a live stream once the 53-man roster is set. That'll be an interesting live stream. We can talk about the upcoming game, and we can also talk about guys that have made it, who's on the practice squad, all that stuff. That should be really interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to that. But that being said, guys, I figure I get off while the getting's good and get ready to go to bed because I have to work early. But I just wanted to get on here and talk with you guys for a little bit. And I'm really excited about what the 49ers have in their roster. I'm excited with the potential of Trey Lance. Hopefully everybody can stay healthy, and Trey can, learn and adjust and get better as the season goes on. And hopefully Jimmy stays healthy too. Pass rush wise, I hope D Ford and Nick Bosa stay healthy, because I feel like they're elite level, and I feel like this defense can be elite. We can rush at them with a rotation that'll just keep coming. There's a lot to like about the 49ers this year. They're probably the deepest they've been during the Shanahan Lynch era. So a lot to look forward to. Hopefully no serious injuries or anything that we don't know about doesn't come out after this live stream, because that seems to happen with the preseason. But definitely excited about the season, guys. I know I don't sound like it in my voice, but cautiously optimistic. I'm low-key excited. This team is talented for sure, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Nothing's been played. We still have a whole season. How's it going? The dream, man. I'm just about to get out of here, but I appreciate you popping in to say hello. If anybody doesn't know the dream, I suggest you go over to his YouTube channel. I think he's only 13 or 14. Got his own YouTube channel, Talks 49ers. Really, really intelligent, well-spoken young man who knows his stuff about the 49ers. And if you could subscribe to his channel, like him, he's really good. I've had him on my channel already. I've watched his channel. I've watched him hang with the likes of Grant Cohn. He's fantastic. So everybody, thanks for popping in tonight. I appreciate it. Tommy Huxley, Benjamin injured. I don't know. Is he? I'll have to take a look at that. Because if he is, that might seal his fate, to be honest with you. We'll see. I'll have to take a look at that. But Luke Luna, have a good night, man. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for the super chats, everyone. I will definitely get on here to discuss the 53-man roster as it drops. And I'll make any videos need be for any injuries or any breaking news. But until then, guys, stay safe and healthy, everyone. Have a great week. And, he might have a concussion. Okay, I'll definitely take a look at that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Curtis. But everybody have a good night. Have a great week. Everybody stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you the next time, guys. See ya.